Well, good news is that Matt Wiley is the VP of production at Fox Studios. He acquired the screenplay rights to the new sequel, the new Flash Gordon. There's some semantics and vernacular about when you have the right to say a sequel and or just another version or the next Flash Gordon. So I just wanted to cover myself liability-wise. Right there. Go ahead. So they're in development right now.
We discussed this earlier, but for everyone here.
Somebody call security on that man right now. Right now. Right now.
It's me. No, when you first filmed this way back, did you think you would have this much of a following for you and your career taking off as much as it did?
Yeah, everybody heard the question, right? Yeah. Great question. No, I didn't. And when you do projects, you don't know. I mean, you pray about it, you give it to God and say, hey, here I am. And number one, it's a blessing to work. And number two, of course, in 1979, that budget was about between 30 and 35 million.
35 million.
Yeah, okay, so if you do that, the numbers nowadays would be
$18 billion.
Yeah. Probably about 200, maybe 300 million.
About 320.
Wow, good one. About 320 million at that time. And you know what? I couldn't even think about that. I was, 5.5, 6 months. I didn't have time to think about anything. Wake up, run Hyde Park, train, get into hair and makeup, and just focus on. And every day there were no breaks. Rehearse that scene, do that fight scene, shoot this, learn how to use a bullwhip, boom, boom, boom. And tonight, this will probably be the 8th time only that I've had the opportunity to view Flash Gordon with you, or period, Flash Gordon. So now I'm going to enjoy, and I will, and funny enough, you're going to think I'm crazy or lying, but I'm not, but I will discover things that I haven't discovered. Really, I'm just being honest, really.
Any other questions? Go ahead, sir.
Was Topol as hard to work with as we've been led to believe?
No, really, are you being facetious, or is that just, or was... No, this guy was...
There's all those Topol rumors out there.
Was he, really? Okay.
He had a problem with it. Okay, next question.
He kept everybody laughing in stitches, but I will say this. Someone told me, one of the women, the actresses said that he had a hand problem. Okay, that's
he was Israeli, for God's sake.
Okay? Yeah.
Anything blonde with a tush. There you go.
My daughter loves Princess Aura. I'm a Dale Arden fan. Personal preference and reality, which would you have? Went to dinner with.
You said Ornella or Melody?
Yes.
Well, Flash Gordon, man, they both come to dinner with me.
Question. Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ben.
Take that microphone away from me.
Okay, all I want to know is if you guys will turn your chairs around and do the Mystery Science Theater.
No. Security.
That's actually pretty funny.
Come on, Dave. Get bounce this woman.
That is pretty funny. No, it really is. That's cool.
Anyone got to steal a little robot on them or something? Next question. Yes.
What I was going to ask you, there's a lot of young folk here, like teenagers down. Sam, to the new generation that's coming up on Flash Gordon, how would you describe the movie to them and what they were about to experience?
Well, I mean, I tell everybody, I can just relate to it, my personal experience. When I saw it the first time, even though I was in it, it's hard to be, objective, but don't try to brainstorm it, okay? Don't try to, just go there. I mean, visually, it's a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. But there's other things that go on. You say, are they for real? Or are they making fun of it? Don't get into that. Just go there for the adventure and enjoy the ride. Really.
Any other questions? In the back, go ahead.
Yeah. So if Sam Raimi came up to you today and said, hey, we're going to make Flash Gordon 2, and Flash is going to be a dad, who would you want to play your son? Let's say in the 20 to 30-year-old range.
Okay, the first part of that question, did you say if who came up to me?
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi.
Oh, Sam Raimi. The person, Sam Raimi.
And he has a checkbook.
Well, he's not going to come up to me because Matt Wiley has the rights and Fox. Well, you know what? I take that back. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. They don't have a director set yet. There you go. Well, that's simple. What age group? Who would I want to play?
20 to 30, he said.
Well, I can't play 20 to 30, so that leaves me out. But, I think, and funny enough, Ashton Kutcher, is that how you say it? Yeah. If you look at a picture of him when he was 25, and you take that photo, and you put it next to my photo when I was 25, I'm telling you right now, there's absolutely you cannot tell the two people apart. Even the hairstyles. So I think he was approaching the beginning years on the first options. He turned it down. I don't know why. But, I'd say anybody between 20 and 30 that has a passion who wants to do it. That's what I say.
Question over here. Go ahead.
With your background in football, did you have any input on changing the character's original athletic profession from polo player to football player in the movie, which I think totally works for you?
That was cool. No, I didn't. They did that on their own. That was Lorenzo and Dino De Laurentiis. Lorenzo Semple Jr., the writer.
Not a question, just sincere Indiana gratitude. Thank you, Sam, so much.
Good. It's good to be here. Okay. Did you want me to leave now? By the way, if you don't know it, I do have family ties here. My grandpa, Sam Jones, built a house outside of Anderson, Indiana. Had about, I don't know how many hundreds of acres. And then, of course, that's where my dad's from, is Anderson, Indiana. Just to let you know that.
Go ahead, sir.
When I was a kid, I saw it. I thought it was the most amazing movie ever. Theater was packed. It was one at the end. Everyone cheered and clapped. But was it actually a success? Was it considered one? Did it make a lot of money?
Good question. It became a huge hit at that time, the box office release. Huge hit in every, I'm not going to say every country, but majority of the countries that opened it there, but not in America. It became a huge hit in America when it became top 10 video. Yeah.
Matt.
How did Queen basically do the rights to the music and everything? How did that come about? I'm curious.
Well, it was probably Dino. Well, I don't think I would say it's Dino, but Dino was rarely, I gotta watch my words here. Rarely did he was a control freak. That's what my wife tells me I am. But so what I'm trying to say to you is, obviously Queen was a younger generation than Dino De Laurentiis. So he would not be the one to really probably make that choice when in fact he had to choose everything. It had to take somebody, well, I'm sure it was Lorenzo Semple Jr. and maybe one of his daughters that suggested, no, you need to go, Frank Sinatra's out, you need to go, you need to go with this younger.
That would be good though.
Yeah, would be.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Next question. Go ahead, sir.
So in playing Flash Gordon, did you just read the script and play him like a robot, or did you actually...
Security. Call security.
That was good. Call security. Right now. He's so cute. Yeah, get on there. Get on there. If you can't do 100 push-ups, you're out of here right now. No, it's great. I guess it's great. We'll talk later. Throw me for a loop. Here's the deal. That's a great question. First of all, I'm proud of the work I did, okay? And I played, and that's me. I am I'm not saying I'm identical to Flash Gordon in real life, but I'm pretty close to it. I am a little bit gullible. I'm always looking out for any type of innocence who's being abused or taken advantage of. And, my kids are always telling me, Daddy, back off. You're not Flash Gordon, but I am Flash Gordon. Yes, I am. But as far as the robot thing, I had to go with my instinct, and I had to be, I guess, be me, be bigger than life, whatever it was. for the people who know the story, one director did a year of planning the movie. He left 3 weeks before filming, where Michael Hodges stepped in and took over. So my direction was, Sam, get the dialogue out before the explosion, okay? I said, oh, wait, let me walk. I got to think about that. I got to get my emotion going. Okay, got it. That was my direction.
Go ahead, sir.
I know you've done a lot of television. What was your most memorable or enjoyable experience in TV?
Probably the Highwayman. You know, we filmed that in Arizona for 6 months. I love the great outdoors. I was outdoors for 6 months. And what was the other part of that? And then I should say, but what happened last night, speaking of TV, my first television series was Code Red in 1981. And you guys know Dennis Haysbert, right? Yeah. Okay, he's become iconic. He was in that series with us as one of the regulars in 1981, 34 years ago, and I saw him. This is the irony of the business. Everybody thinks everybody hangs out and all that. First time I've seen Dennis in 34 years was last night at the red carpet premiere of TED 2 in New York. It was amazing. You do a movie, you become a family, and then it's okay, family, goodbye. You know?
Go ahead.
Here's how it works. It's a good question.
Oh yeah. So, what did you think when you were approached to do TED, the movie TED? Obviously, when they made the movie, it's very clear that the way they think about Flash Gordon, what everybody in this audience thinks about Flash Gordon. What did you think about that project? And
when I first received that phone call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. I got a phone call from. He said, "Hi, I'm Seth MacFarlane. When I was 8 years old, you impacted, influenced my life so much that I knew I wanted to be a creative person, and I want to bring you into this movie I'm doing called TED." And I said, "Excuse me, who are you again?" What are you going to do? Of course, if you're going to say, no, let me check my schedule. When Universal calls and Seth calls, you say, yes, thank you, let's do it.
Go ahead, sir, in the green.
Are you a New York Jets fan?
Well, I am. I mean, I'm not like their number one fan, but I like all the NFL teams, I really do. No, God, I wish I did. No, I have not met Joe. Yes. I was scheduled to meet him one time, but that's when he had that incident on camera at the game, remember?
Go ahead, sir.
How did it feel to play Flash Gordon?
I loved it. It was an adventure. It really was. The question was, how did it feel to play Flash Gordon? Well, young man, I haven't stopped since. Let me tell you, it's wonderful. No, I do. I have a lot of respect for the character, and was it Charles Barkley who said I'm not a role model, and I think maybe he's changed his answer on that now. But we are role models. If we're athletes, musicians, if we're in the public eye, and this is not a rabbit trail, but I just want to make this statement. I don't understand celebrities who have a problem with their picture. I don't want to mention any names, but in public, right, having their picture taken and getting violent and beating up on photographers. We owe it to the fans and to the public. Otherwise, don't be in the public. Stay in your home. Make your movies in your house, and they'll never come out. Yes, I enjoy it. So I need to have a little talk with that Adam. What's his name? Alec. What's his name? Alec. Yeah, we will. Just mention his last name. Yes.
He's an Alec.
Yeah, you guys know what we're talking about. Anybody with any attitude problems, just bring them to me. I'm a former Marine, okay? And after I'm done with them, okay, they're not going to be a problem anymore.
Can we bring Alec to you?
Bring him to me. Bring him to me. Oh, please bring him to me.
There's one right over here.
Yeah, do you have a Thunder Buddy?
I have a Thunder Buddy. Can you sing the song without all of the...
I'll go bleep.
You go bleep? Can you sing the song? And he'll do bleep, but you can't say the words?
We'll do bleep.
Can you sing it?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Rob can. Windish is his Thunder Buddy.
I got some, I went through my training. I've been in the business 36 years, something like that. And I'm sure at one point I got a little bit, all about me, look at me, and maybe not that humble, and of course, when that happens to you, people don't want somebody who's arrogant and maybe a little bit bitter or whatever. So I had an attitude adjustment, and it's not a rabbit trail. It has to do with your question about a buddy. So I have one or two guys that I can call up, and they're not going to say, "Oh, great, you're so great, you're great, man. You're not doing anything wrong." These are the guys. All of us should have a friend that we call up and say, "Hey, what do I need to reevaluate my life?" Well, my buddies don't wait for my call. They call me up and they say, "Hey, you need to reevaluate your thinking, okay? You need to humble yourself." If we had a lot of celebrities who did that, I think it'd be a better world for all of us.
Amen. Question over here.
How much did Star Wars have in the creation of Flash Gordon and the story and whatnot?
Star Wars, yeah, I think, George Lucas wanted to.
Well, I think that it's the question should be reversed.
It should be reversed. Thank you. It should be reversed.
So Lucas originally wanted to do Flash Gordon, but he couldn't get the rights, so Star Wars evolved, and then Flash Gordon was developed.
Yes.
While Star Wars was being shot, and
come on, Bill, you got it.
I'm doing it. Seriously. I'm doing it. So essentially, they really are. Flash Gordon was the inspiration. The Flash Gordon serials were the inspiration for Star Wars. In fact, if you take a look at some of the iconic set design, the movement, it was very derivative of Flash Gordon. But I think for us, Flash Gordon stands by its own, and really it's a comedic 1980s space opera at its best. It's not Star Wars, it's completely different. It's an operatic comedy, which is just a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we did have the solar system in there when we were playing a Mongo too, I want you to ask some questions. Do you have some questions you want to ask?
What I like to do when we have these question and answer sessions is to see the director and the audience relating just like you're doing, and we'll get a couple directors up here that are didn't check the ego at the door, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate your being candid and embracing this audience, because I can just see a lot of smiles and they're loving it. So thank you for coming to the Outcast.
Well, thank you. No, does that mean when we leave now? No. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, that's cool. No. And again, I can only speak for my failures and successes, and so it's what my daddy always said growing up. He said, "Hey, if you don't like it, then there's the door. Don't let it hit you in the buttocks."
So let's wrap it up. We'd like to thank Sam for his generosity, for his time. We'd like to thank for Flash Gordon. Okay, I'm from Franklin, but I'm one of the board members of Comic-Con. We hope that you're going to be at Comic-Con. Flash is going to be, Sam Jones is going to be at Comic-Con. It's at the Indiana Convention Center. Oh yeah, oh jeez. I'm in big trouble now. San Diego. Oops. Indy PopCon. So let's start the movie, and maybe we have a little Flash Gordon sing-along. What do you think? Yay! So what movie are we going to see? Flash Gordon. Come on, this time with feeling. Go ahead. Flash. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, again, how many people